Murari?
Yeah. Ma'am, I think like we have completed effectiveness defined. Like yesterday we have discussed
Yes,
about like
yes, yes,
excess.
yes.
I think the page number is 28. I have completed yesterday.
It's okay, doesn't matter. We are here to learn. If it is extra, it will be a revision. Okay, no issues.
Yeah.
PDF page number 29, I think so, sir.
Sorry. Let's come to one.
PDF page
Let's
number
do
29.
let's do on my this thing PDF is page number 26. Maturity continuum. We will start from there. Doesn't matter. 1 2 pages here and there. We will get practice. Is that okay? Are we all on the same page?
Yeah, please.
Yes.
No, they were on some different pages, 28 and 29. Please come to page 26, maturity continuum. Fauzia and Murari, are you okay? Are you on that page?
Yeah, yes, sir. Continue.
Yes, sir.
The maturity continuum. The 7 habits are not a set of separate or piecemeal psych-up formulas. In harmony, are not a set of separate piecemeal means small, right? Like small bites. Psych-up formulas means like psychological. They're not just like made up imaginary things. In harmony with the natural laws of growth, they provide an incremental, sequential, highly integrated approach to the development of personal and interpersonal effectiveness. So he's saying that these laws are in sync with the natural laws, like how the sun and the stars, something as universal as that, those follow natural laws. He's like these laws are as universal as that. They provide an incremental means increasing, slightly increasing every time. Sequential means one after the other. 1, 2, 3, that's a sequence. Highly integrated. Integrated means like tightly coupled, combined nicely. Highly integrated approach to the development of personal means for my own, and interpersonal means between me and you, between me and someone else. Personal and interpersonal effectiveness. They move us progressively on a maturity continuum from dependence to independence. Means they move us from being dependent on someone else, being helpless, being weak, being sad in some cases, to being happier, to being stronger, to being providers, to being givers instead of just takers. We each begin life as an infant, totally dependent on others. We are directed, nurtured. Directed means, you do this, you do that, you go here, you go there. Direction. We are directed, nurtured, just like how a plant is nurtured, right? So much love, so much kindness when we are young kids. Every small thing of ours is taken care of, directed, nurtured, and sustained by others. Even as an infant, even as an adult, we are sustained by others. How are you getting the food on your plate? Just imagine the maybe thousands of people who are involved just to bring a single grain of rice on your plate. Think about it. Without this nurturing, we would only live for a few hours or a few days at the most. Think about it. If no one was there to give you food, if there is no water in the tap, if there is no electricity, will we really be able to survive? And gradually, over the ensuing months and years, ensuing months means which are coming ahead. Now it's March, so the ensuing months will be April, May, June, and years will be 2026, 2027. Over the ensuing months and years, we become more and more independent. Physically, body-wise, mentally, mind-wise, emotionally, the heart and emotions, and financially, money. Until eventually, we can essentially take care of ourselves becoming inner directed and self-reliant. Now, inner directed direction is towards the inner self, the spirit. And self-reliant means you don't need someone to feed you, you don't need someone to walk you. Even in terms of thoughts and emotions, you are independent. You're grown-ups now. As we continue to grow and mature, we become increasingly aware that all of nature is interdependent. Interdependent means one depends on the other. One very good example is the bumblebee. The bumblebee takes nectar from the flowers, but it has pollen on its legs, which it spreads, and the flower can spread to many other places because of the pollen of the bumblebee. Bumblebee is a very important ecological factor. See this movie, it's called the Bee Movie. So it's a nice English animated movie, old movie, but it's a very nice movie. Your English will also improve, and it's a nice thing to learn about our environment and ecology. It's called only the Bee Movie. It's a nice animated movie. Interdependent, that there is an ecological system that governs nature, including society. We further discover that the higher reaches of our nature have to do with our relationships with others, that human life is also interdependent. So they're saying that nature is interdependent and so is human. So human life is very much integrated with nature as well. Our growth from infancy to adulthood is in accordance with natural law. And there are many dimensions to growth. Reaching a full physical maturity, for example, does not necessarily assure us of simultaneous emotional or mental maturity. So he's saying कि in Hindi we say ना शरीर बड़ा हो गया लेकिन दिमाग कच्चा हो गया. I don't know if you know Hindi. Or like some of the friends maybe they're acting very childish and very immature. That's a very common word. Maturity is not there. That's what he's saying. Okay. We use a generic term, maturity. Here he's calling it emotional or mental maturity. On the other hand, a person's physical dependence does not mean that he or she is mentally or emotionally immature. Many times, if you've been around kids around 8, 9 years, 10 years, they will say some things and you're like, wow, like especially sometimes in terms of principles of truth and honesty and some of those things. It's amazing. And you're like, where did that come from? So he's just a little kid, a wee little thing, but so mature. On the maturity continuum, dependence is the paradigm of you. You take care of me. You come through for me. You didn't come through. I blame you for the results. Interdependence is the paradigm of I. I can do it. I am responsible. I am self-reliant. I can choose. So he's saying there are two options you have. Either you blame others for anything that happens in your life. Because of mom and dad didn't send me to that school, I didn't get good marks and I will never be successful in life. Because some friend out there is not talking with me, I am emotionally disturbed and I cannot work. Because something happened, whatever, this thing, that thing, my friend left me, I don't have any friends, I don't have a girlfriend, I don't have a boyfriend, whatever issues are there, because the teacher is not good, the pencil is not good, anything a mind can make excuses of. He's saying either you keep blaming others for the rest of your life or you take responsibility for your life. Interdependence is the paradigm of we. We can do it. We can cooperate. We can combine our talents and abilities and create something greater. Okay, sorry, I misread it. First part was when you blame others is called dependence. Independence is when you say that I can do everything by myself. And interdependence is when it's neither fully you, neither fully me, it becomes we. And the order which he has given these is very poignant or very interesting. because that is the correct order of evolution as well. The lower level is dependence, where you blame others, and almost all of us go through this in our lives. Dependence, then independence, and then interdependence. Are you seeing the difference? Like, and not just at an individual level, but at a societal level also this has happened. And I will tell you this as a case of India as well. When we were under British control, and even before that, we have been controlled by external forces, the Mughals and the Turks, and long history, right? So that time we were dependent on them. After 1947, at least politically, we gained independence. But only in the last few decades or something, with our growth and with our alliances with the other countries, now we are interdependent. Are you able to see what these three words? So it applies for you personally, it applies for each level of society higher up, means for you, your family, your community, your country. It's true for all of them. Dependent people need others to get what they want. Independent people can get what they want through their own effort. Interdependent people combine their own efforts with the efforts of others to achieve their greatest success. If I were physically dependent, paralyzed, or disabled, or limited in some way, I would need you to help me. If I were emotionally dependent, my sense of self worth and security would come from your opinion of me. If you didn't like me, it could be devastating. If I were intellectually dependent, I would count on you to do my thinking for me, to think the issues and my problems, to think the issues and problems of my life. So he's saying, what is the state of a dependent person? Means emotionally, physically. See, physically, you can still have sympathy with, because if you don't have some eyesight or hand or leg, it's tough to get it back. You physically you don't have something, then you will be dependent in some way. But the deeper dependence is emotional dependence, and there is no root cause of that. It's only psychological. Up to some age you need, but after that you are independent. And so emotional dependence, thought dependence, that you complete me. And why should he or she complete you? Why aren't you complete by yourself? The author is saying, why are you dependent on others? If I were independent physically, I could pretty well make it on my own. Mentally, I could think my own thoughts. I could move from one level of abstraction to another. Abstraction means essentially abstract thought, different thoughts, right? In a simple word, if I say is, I can move from one thought to another very easily. I don't, uh, not just thought, but ideologies also, I can move from one ideology to another ideology very easily. I could think creatively and analytically and organize and express my thoughts in understandable ways. Emotionally, I would be validated from within. I would be inner directed. My sense of worth would not be a function of being liked or treated well. Most of us are in this first section, which is out of dependence. I would really like us all to make a note of this section of independence. It's not just about learning an English language, but it's also learning about how to lead life. This is, you can say, it's the great mantra for life. How to be independent. It's easy to see that independence is much more mature than dependence. Independence is a major achievement in and of itself, but independence is not supreme. So he's saying that from a lower level, you have come up to a much higher level of from dependence, you've come to a much higher level of independence. But he's saying that is also not supreme. There is something even higher, even greater than independence. What is that? Nevertheless, the current social paradigm enthrones independence. It is the avowed goal of many individuals and social movements. Avowed means, wow, amazing! You're so independent. Have you not heard, like, I'm a strong, independent girl, I'm a strong, independent boy? So he's saying ki it has a great deal of importance, but they're saying society is saying ki this is everything. Most of the self-improvement material puts independence on a pedestal as though communication, teamwork, and cooperation were lesser values. So he's saying it is important, but where are you putting it on the hierarchy? Nevertheless, the current social paradigm, okay, I think in my book it's come twice, so we'll ignore that. But how much of a current emphasis on independence is a reaction to dependence, to having others control us, define us, use us, and manipulate us? The little understood concept of interdependence appears to many to smack of dependence, and therefore we find people, often for selfish reasons, leaving their marriage, abandoning their children, and forsaking all kinds of social responsibility, all in the name of independence. What he's saying is, what the author says is, many times our independence is just a revolt of against dependence. It's just a revolt of someone trying to control us or manipulate us or tell us ki, you have to do like this, you have to be like that, you do like this, you are like that, you are like that. And sometimes it is negative, it goes into a negative phase, and you are saying ki, I will become so damn independent, I don't have to listen to anything you say. But sometimes that independence, which removes us from dependence, goes to another level where we become absolutely selfish. And in the name of independence, we forsake so many good things in our life because we have become arrogant. When the I is very important, we are not able to see the other people. The kind of reaction that results in people throwing off their shackles. Shackles means like chains. Okay, literally it means chains. Here they don't refer to people are in chains, but they mean social type of chains which bind people. That kind of emotional chains which are binding people. Mental chains. Those are the shackles they're talking about. Where you feel claustrophobic, like you feel in Hindi, if I say घुटन सी हो रही है. When you like say, forget everything. Simple example is you're like, I'm frustrated with these studies. I need a break. I'm just going to go for a nice walk or have a nice cup of coffee or go chat with my friend on the phone. That is a simple example of throwing off a shackles short term. The kind of reaction that results in people throwing off the shackles, becoming liberated, asserting themselves, and doing their own thing often reveals more fundamental dependencies that cannot be run away from because they are internal rather than external. Dependencies such as letting the weakness of other people ruin our emotional lives or feeling victimized by people and events out of our control. He has said it in a very complicated way, but it's a very, very deep philosophy, which he's saying is that, and it's very subtle. What he's trying to say is sometimes This show of independence is actually our own insecurity. We are insecure and we are not completely happy within ourselves, which is why we say, "Okay, no, 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 we know we do it extra, we do little bit extra. In everything, we do little bit extra than required. We're out of balance because we think others are out to get us. We think others are out to harm us, even when that's not the case. We become extra sensitive. Of course, we may need to change our circumstances, but the dependence problem is a personal maturity issue that has little to do with circumstances. Even with better circumstances, immaturity and dependence often persist. He's saying two things. One is sometimes you cannot physically go and change your circumstances. If you are studying and there is like a procession going in the street, someone is full band, bajat, some wedding or something is happening, and you're getting disturbed in your studies, there's nothing you can do but wait for that to go. You cannot go and fight with them. Maximum close some windows or close the door or whatever. But after that, just switch that off in your mind and focus on your work. That is one thing that you can do. So he's saying that sometimes, even if there is no noise outside, but still you are not able to focus, that is the result of immaturity. And we have a psychological sense of dependence. Means we are not mature enough. True independence of character empowers us to act rather than be acted upon. It frees us from a dependence on circumstances and other people and is a worthy, liberating goal. But it is not the ultimate goal in effective living. Okay, let's take a whole 5-minute pause here. And I'd like to know what you all think about this. Fausia, could you share some views with respect?
Yeah, there are three types: dependence, independent, and interdependent. Dependence is we are depending on someone. Independent, dependent. Yeah, independent. We do not depend upon others.
Mhm.
Interdependent is something balancing between both. We are not depending completely on them, but we can do something work like that.
Correct. Excellent. That is very good. And what did you learn from this? Which of these did you like, or do you resonate, or do you agree with what he's saying? Or do you think no, dependence is only fine? Or you think, okay, no, you need independence sometimes? Or you think interdependence is fine? What do you think? Pause, yeah?
We need to be independent first,
Okay.
because what we do we should know, the work we should not depend upon others.
Mhm.
We don't know what they think about us when we ask them, but the thing we if we approach them,
Mhm.
it is good, but our work we should do first.
Mhm.
I do that. Yeah.
Okay. So you think independence is more important,
Yeah.
right? And you are not wrong. It's impossible to go directly from dependence to interdependence. You have to go from dependence to independence. And when you are at independence for a long time, you stop being dependent, then you will naturally understand, you will naturally feel that the limitations of independence also. And slowly, we will start gradually moving towards interdependence. And I will give one example. One great example is all the faculty and the teachers here who are teaching us at Asha. They are very independent in their lives. Many of them are very successful people. They have had families, they have had children, right? They have big degrees, they have worked in schools, they're principals, they are like super successful, very senior people. But why are they still coming here and teaching us for free? giving so much of the time, the life, and the energy. Because they are not dependent anymore, they're completely independent. But now they realize the value of interdependence. They realize that they are a part of society, and it's not only important that I succeed, but society succeeds. We all together as a nation, as a community succeed. That is what they have realized. That is why they're coming here, giving their time, giving so much of love and effort. So, because of interdependence, they realize that I am because we are. That's called Ubuntu. That's an African phrase. I am because we are. Yeah, thanks. Thank you for sharing, Fazia. Anything
Yes,
else you would like to share on that? Any other point you would like to share?
No, sir.
Moving ahead then. What happened to Murari? He ran away. Maybe he just lost connection. So I will read the last line again. True independence of character empowers us to act rather than be acted upon. It frees us from a dependence on circumstances and other people and is a worthy, liberating goal. But it is not the ultimate goal in effective living. Then what is? Independent thinking alone is not suited to interdependent reality. Independent people who do not have the maturity to think and act interdependently may be good individual producers, but they won't be good leaders or team players. They are not coming from the paradigm of interdependence necessary to succeed in marriage, family, or organizational reality. Life is, by nature, highly interdependent. Try to achieve maximum effectiveness through independence is like trying to play tennis with a golf club. The tool is not suited to the reality. Interdependence is a far more mature, more advanced concept. If I am physically interdependent, I am self reliant and capable. But I also realize that you and I, working together, can accomplish far more than even my best I could accomplish alone. If I am emotionally interdependent, I derive a great sense of worth within myself. But I also recognize the need for love, for giving, and for receiving love from others. If I am intellectually interdependent, I realize that I need the best thinking of other people to join with my own. As an interdependent person, I have the opportunity to share myself deeply, meaningfully with others, and I have access to the vast resources and potential of other human beings. Interdependence is a choice only independent people can make. Dependent people cannot choose to become interdependent. They don't have the character to do it. They don't own enough of themselves. This is exactly what I'm saying, right? Dependence, on top of that is independent, on top of that is interdependence. That's why habits 1, 2, and 3 in the following chapters deal with self mastery. They move a person from dependence to independence. They are private victories, the essence of character growth. Private victories precede public victories. you cannot invert that process anymore, then you can harvest the crop before you can plant it. It's inside out. As you become truly independent, you have the foundation for effective interdependence. You have the character base from which you can effectively work on the more personality oriented public victories of teamwork, cooperation, and communication in habits 4, 5, and 6. That does not mean you have to be perfect in habits 1, 2, and 3 before working on habits 4, 5, and 6. Understanding the sequence will help you manage your growth more effectively. But I'm not suggesting that you put yourself in isolation for several years until you fully develop habits 1, 2, and 3. As part of an interdependent world, you have to relate to that world every day. But the acute problems of that world can easily obscure the chronic character causes. Understanding how what you are impacts every interdependent interaction. Understanding how what you are, I think there should be a comma here, impacts every interdependent interaction will help you to focus your efforts sequentially in harmony with the natural laws of growth. So he's saying that in simple words, you cannot love others till you love yourself. If you use the point of love, oh, nobody's there.
I think Fauzia left. I mean, there seems to be some, we just wait for another 4, 5 minutes. Yeah.
Something was not proper, both of them left.
No, I don't know. I think,
It was audible and it was fine, right? Was there any?
of course, completely.
Okay. I think it's too tough for them.
No, they seem to be enjoying it.
Okay. Then maybe some other issue.
Yeah, I don't think it's the fact that, okay, so Murari said, I'm facing a network issue. I'm unable to hear Sir's voice clearly.
Okay.
Send me a personal message.
Okay.
Okay, and Fauzia just messaged, due to network issues, I'm not able to join the class.
Okay. Take care then.
Yeah,
Very
so
good.
just take a picture of where you stopped. Tomorrow we will continue. Thank you so much, Vineet. As usual, it was a pleasure listening to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Was
Yeah.
there some issue? Like, did they not like it or something? Do you feel, ma'am?
No, I see that. From what I've seen, Fauzia seems to be really enjoying this book,
Okay.
not
Okay.
been missing. Same with Murari.
Okay. Then must be a genuine internet issue.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's take it like that. Let's be positive, Vineet.
No. I am positive, but I just want to understand because you are also listening. Sometimes we cannot listen to our own words. So that's why I wanted
No,
to
no,
ask.
no, no. That's, see, this has become one of my favorite parts of being in our show. Yeah. Yes. We can close the meeting. Thank you. Bye-bye. Sandhya? Sandhya,
Yeah,
we
close
close.
the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.